Hey there. So I just wanted to make a quick video to respond to some of your questions and about like my aim settings. So let's look at it. This is what I play on, and it's mainly, I would say, my biggest advice about aim is to figure out which of these three styles is most comfortable for you. For me, it's linear ramp, and that's just like set the sensitivity pretty good so that you can do like a 180 and a pretty reasonable. I'd say my 180 is a little slow. It's not that important on ball, more important on tracer, but it's pretty fast, right? Um, and I would just get something where it's like pretty reasonable to 180, and but you still feel in control. And when you're like kind of looking around, like it kind of like behaves the way you expect it to. Like if I change this to, uh, where's that? Oh my gosh. If I change this to like dual zone, which has like a dead zone in the middle, so now like I'm moving the stick quite a lot, the same kind of movements I was doing before, but it doesn't really move. But then if I go out of the dead zone, I move really fast. For a lot of people, this works really well. There's a dude named Hopeful, who's kind of like the number one DPS on console. Um, he has a video about his settings, and they're entirely different from mine. For me, though, like I find this really hard to look around. It's too jittery. So I play on linear. Exponential is kind of most people think is the worst one. And then the thing I was talking about, so I do 70/70. It's just a sound video I like. Some people go to 100. I played for a long time at like 60/60 too. That's just like preference and what you can handle. But linear, the thing that really helps are these two settings: aim smoothing and aim ease in. And aim smoothing, I kind of think of like acceleration. Like if you turn it all the way down to 0, you see how it goes to max speed like really fast, right? And I find that really hard to control. And that kind of looks to me like when you're tracking and going back and forth, it kind of looks to me like what's going on. So my first guess would be to mess around with aim smoothing a little. I like 30. I used to play it more like 20 or so. Again, personal preference. And then there's aim ease in, and aim ease in is kind of like dampening. It's like similar to aim smoothing, but it's a little different. And what both of them do is affect sort of the acceleration curve, like how far when you move your stick, like how much does that change the speed at which your vision changes. So if we turn that to 0, this is extremely responsive to my movements, but that also means when I'm doing this micro tracking of a dude, it makes it a little harder to stay on target. So I like to have a bit of dampening. If you turn this to like 100, it doesn't change directions as fast. So it makes my aim more stable, but it means like it's harder to change targets. It feels like, yeah, like it's just dead end. So I like it at 20. I guess the same experiment with aim smoothing. I'll show you normal for me. And you can mess around in the practice range with this. Aim smoothing at 100 looks like this. Same stick movements, but you see like no acceleration. It takes a while for it to accelerate. Like it gets to the same speed, but it's like it takes longer before it goes, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what I do. And then the aim assist settings, the way this works is there's sort of, if we go over to our hog here, aim assist draws a box around a character, okay? And in this box, you can see I'm doing the same kind of stick movements, but my cursor doesn't really move that much, right? Because there's this like window of dead zone around a character, okay? So you can see it kind of starts there, right? And it'll kind of stick, right? And now I'm free, and it starts there. Now, if we turn that all the way up, Where is that? Aim assist window size. Now the dead zone starts a little more outside the guy. Okay. So what some people do is they have everyone plays with max strength, and I really do recommend that. Just because that's like how extreme the effect is. Okay. Um, a lot of people play with like the dual zone players play with like 100 window size and then like 99 aim assist ease in, which is basically makes a transition zone. See, like I catch kind of out here, okay, but then there's this transition zone where it's like not quite all the way deadened until I'm on target. So they'll play with like no aim smoothing and like they'll just catch it on a thing and then it's a really big dead zone. And then they have some play around here. I don't like that for linear. I like no aim ease in, so it's a hard line, and I like 20% window size myself, which is more of like sort of a sniper setting. The other thing I do, I turn the left stick inner dead zone to 0, which just means I can strafe, like I can change direction really fast. Okay. At like a high level in this game, you have to do that kind of movement. Just everyone plays that way. It's more like a tracer thing than ball, but even on ball. But you can see if I turn this up, let's say, see how much slower that is to change directions. And the reason that's important, there's like so much about console aim. The reason that's important is your movement actually like sort of re-triggers the aim assist. And so you can see I'm kind of like keeping on the target a bit. So this little strafing helps you with your aim, okay? And then I don't know why this works, but someone recommended it. I'd play this at 0.05, but it does, I've gotten, I don't know, 5% accuracy off that. Turning it down, the default is 1.5, 0.15. Which I guess it makes my dead zone smaller until I pick up a target, and at which point I have this dead zone. It's the entire hog, right? So those are my settings, and then the other thing I do in ball, let's see, I think it's down actually in the hero menu here. I do relative aim sensitivity while transformed by roll. What a mouthful. I play with that at 160%. I've experimented with 175, but this was kind of the happy medium for me. And that just gives me, you can see, this is my normal 180 speed if I'm out of ball, and then this is my speed in ball. So it makes it a little easier to look around and stuff. And I don't find I miss grapples, and then I can do some checks. I kind of suck at these. I honestly don't use techs that much. But like that 180 rebound, for example. And then kind of the grapple stuff I was talking about, like for this one, it's important to get a long grapple. But we can roll out onto that hog, like a lot of hit scan play kind of there. So one thing you can do is get a long grapple, make sure you get a speed, and then you can slam, right? Similarly, oh shit, this hog's chasing us, we can go around the map to the mega here, right? We can roll out this way to the, I should have just done that to stop my momentum. We can roll out this way to this high ground, right? There's a bunch of shit we can do, right? We can come back here. I saw you know how to do this thing, the corner jump. But yeah. And then I was saying, let me figure out how to move this. I don't use this mode that much. There he is. So I was saying, like, I think, oh. let's see, interact, I believe. Yeah, there it is. So like I was saying, people hold kind of here, yeah. And if I can just retract. Oh, it's not available in this mode. This is an old workshop code. So anyway, if we're set up on a high ground somewhere, we have a lot of options, and one of them is like that kind of thing. He kind of automatically goes back to his thing, but so that's like that kind of move. We could we get a long one and slam. We could go out this side and then slam back. We could probably go for some sort of boop. I don't double boop really, but yeah, there's probably some sort of double boop here too. And we might be able to roll out like that's a common sniper spot here, right? So just thinking about like how do I come from the sides? Like when you are attacking this point, sometimes I'll get like a really long grapple and I'll just come around the back. And now I'm on the sniper, this healers like you were, but I'm behind them, right? And they turn around and I can just be around a corner and shoot them here. And a bunch of people are standing over here and stuff. They can't shoot me, but I can shoot the guy that I slammed, right? And that's sort of what I'm talking about. One other tech thing, I didn't notice whether or not you use this, but it's important to 180 when you use your mines. Let's put our hog here. The reason for that is you move a little forward. If I slam here, I'm going to land like there. Yeah, you move a little forward when you pile drive. See? However, if I 180, I go back the way I came. So I jump off, right? And characters are pulled towards where you land. And so if you mine, you want to try to slam into the middle of the pile of the minefield like that. Does that make sense? These mines were a little high if I wanted to kill hog, because they spread a bit. But that's a pretty good minefield like for this point. Nobody can go on a point really right now. And if we had like a bunch of squishies there, and you see, I'm like not even, yeah, I'm more or less in the middle. But that little tech is really important. But yeah, that's kind of the thing. And then just keeping in mind, we do pretty similar damage at this range too. We have a little fall off, a little longer. But we don't need to barrel stuff. There's certain people you want to barrel stuff and certain people you don't, right? And Malga Hog is another one, like, and this is going to change a little with the armor changes, but you don't really want to let, especially the Malga, because he heals off you, shoot you. You want to shoot him from like up here or something, and then when he turns, kind of back off and let him try and find a new target. Or if he's going to chase you, that's great too. Try to bring him into view of your team. One final thing, let's see. There's some sort of tech like that. I can't do it, but it's like the tight wire. The other reason, like when you were in our replay, when you were like up here, and then you just kind of Leroy Jenkins'd, like when you're up here on high ground and no one's up here, like you're safe. Look around. You can see your teammates through the map, right? You can see where the enemy team is, and you can see where the payload is. So you can kind of guess where people are playing, and you can see like and hear your teammates shooting and stuff. So a lot of time you want to wait to hear some guns, and then you can draw it down and slam, right? I think retract is disabled in this mode. That's funny. Right? And you can go boom, boom, and now we're in here. Someone chases us, we're here. We could drop our shields if we want. 2 if we get a big slam, because that's the thing. You get more shields the more people are around you, right? So anyway, just some pointers. Just wanted to respond to you, and good luck with your games.